Hey Jan, how's audio? And how are you? Hopefully the middle of the week finds you well. Is the audio working, by the way? I mean, it's telling me my mic seems to be generating sound. Oh, thanks, Arxon. And also, welcome to the chat. And a good evening to you, Nick. How you doing? Better than yesterday, still tired? Well, I know you're having some computer problems, so I hope those are cleared up. And hello indeed. Arkeen. Oh, sorry, Arxon. Am I pronouncing that properly? Don't know if it's supposed to be like Arxen or just Oxen or Oxene. And yep, I'm good. Feeling a bit sleepy for reasons, which is weird because I woke up completely well rested. But I've sort of started. Well, I've sort of started skimming through my textbook on line. I can remember what it's called, so that bodes well. but I sort of got distracted, so I didn't quite basically I just sort of got my food ready for the next couple of days. But I did sort of read it through, and it all looks, I don't want to say it's easy enough, but I think I get how it abbreviates words and how the symbols that replace letters work. Basically, it removes as much sort of redundancy from words as possible, so no double letters, no vowels. Some words are only included when they're completely necessary, and so on and so forth. And the sort of the T-line alphabet's basically just like a very simplified, stylized version of letters. So A's just like literally just the top of the A without crossing it, and so on. So yeah, I'm pretty excited to start doing that. Yep, anyway, that's the link sorted out, so camera on. How's it going, everyone? I'm absolutely hyped to keep wearing the tiefling look today. I thought I sort of decided to try blue lipstick. Don't know how it looks. I've always had a bit of a mixed bag with dark lipstick, so we'll see how that goes. Oh, thanks, Nick. Oh, yeah, that reminds me. Oh, thank you, Arksan. The horns were sort of a last minute thing I came up with this weekend, so I'm super happy with them. Oh, and Talia's redeemed no self objections lady. I'm not allowed to self defame in any way for 10 minutes. That's going to be when the stream hits 20 minutes. Yep, everyone loves a good tiefling moment. One of the, I think last Wednesday's stream actually, the VOD on YouTube actually did quite well. So clearly, cosplaying a tieflings onto a good thing. I don't know. Or maybe people just really like Pathfinder. Especially with that business with, you know what? And my headphones have switched themselves off. Of course they have. Anywho, let's start this game up. Let me know how the audio sounds. It should be as good as it was on Monday, but you never know. It might have changed a bit. Talia, can't wait to see what rules Nordmark and Guild of Icons pivot to. It all sounds like wiggly air to you, Talia. Well, you're the person who knows the most about wiggly air, so I'll take that as a good sign. Nick, you're thinking of moving to Kobolds 8 your baby. Sorry, Kobolds 8 my baby for all future games. Me getting tripped up by having to change the pronouns as I read. Comments directed at me. Or not directed at me. To be fair, I think Grounded would fit into that perfectly. I mean, she's like basically a very tall kobold in some ways, you know? But then, most chaotic neutral characters are. Talia, you sure glad you've got rid of your multi-character gimmick setup? RIP everyone else? Yeah, I think I might roll a second character for the campaign just in case I need one. I've actually talked to Nick about it, whether or not it would be okay for the campaign. Yeah, I've got kind of an interesting idea for an artificer lined up who uses Basically, her thing is using salvage tech. Well, you know, like, she finds magical items, sort of hacks them, and uses those instead of building her own. Sort of like, yeah, it just occurred to me I've basically recreated Samus. Oh well. Oh, hey Nolus. Thank you for redeeming random trivia. So before we begin, random trivia. Random trivia. The word tiefling comes from the German or Proto-Germanic word tief and can be translated as deep ones. Talia, a Freean and your artificer may have to have a chat about how old the old society's caught fish. Amazing. Yeah. Be honest, I'm not entirely sure if tiefling was something D&D sort of came up with originally, or if it was popularised by them, but there we go. Anyway, just to recap, we've beaten the first major boss, and we're at a feast in our honour, because we're being made a Baroness. That, I know I use we a lot, but that's now officially the royal we. See what this guard's got to say. What torture? The guests eat and drink, and we can't even move. Damn. Okay, that's not very fair. Magar Varn. This man is obviously more comfortable on the battlefield than in the company of nobles. He's well built, but the expensive waistcoat he's wearing doesn't quite fit properly, as though it was borrowed. He has a few pale scars across his face, and his dark hair is drawn into an unkempt ponytail, with a few streaks of grey running through it. He greets you with a broad smile and a firm handshake. Not gonna lie, sort of rugged, fighty types having to get dressed up for a party is low-key one of my favourite character things. Oxen. Ling is also a German suffix for some animal youngs, FYI. Okay, that's neat. So maybe it's more like children of the deep or something then. Talia, if I want, our two artificers can open the magic and boat hire shop together. We'll talk. Okay. Major Varn. Let me introduce myself. I'm Major Varn, the new ruler of Dunsward. Your neighbour to the east. Like you, I'm about to be a baron. Great job with the Stag Lord, by the way. Not everyone could exterminate a whole gang of bandits with such a small team. How did you earn the title of baron? Truth be told, my team and I just happened to be in the right place at the right time. Commander Yalordi needed someone reliable to take and hold the territory. I'm the captain of a mercenary team, if that wasn't clear. Varning host. Have you heard of us? No? No matter. We've done work for Jumandi before. This time the task was simple. We just walked into the area, cleared it out of the most brazen monsters, and built a small fort to hold the place. And for that, Baron didn't land to own. It was a dream job. How do you feel about being a noble? Looking at his rich clothes, Varn smirks. Like a pheasant on a plate. I've killed all kinds of monsters. But this is the first time I've so strongly felt like turning away could get me eaten. I like this guy. I hope he doesn't backstab me. He nods towards an arrogant man in the other corner of the room. See that lad? Baron Drelev. He's not like us. Who knows what generation of Baron he is? Didn't even shake my hand. You and me, we're like dirt beneath his boots. That's why those who like us, the newly made nobility, need to stick together. Otherwise, he'd take my land and yours in the blink of an eye. It was nice meeting you. Farewell. Goodbye. Once you settle in, come and pay us a visit. Nolas. Brioche. Yes, they don't call me the Owlbear Whisperer for nothing. Significant glance to Lindsay, who starts writing it down. Wait, was that an Ox Venture reference? Okay. Guest and Garez. Guest. Oh, these young heroes. Such bravery, such spirit. Why, I remember when I was your age. Oh, hey, Lindsay. Guest and Garez? Well, Tarcutio. Well, Scum. And how did we... maybe I've had one too many. Wait, who was Keston Garris again? Oh wait, he was the guard guy. Lindsay. Pour up to the brim. So that... Oh, I must be drunk. I forgot the line.
Will you drink with me?
Hey, tiefling. Casey. You see Casey approaching. The tiefling you met during the battle at Gemantia Aldori's mansion. As she draws near, she places one of the cups of wine she's holding in your hand. Okay, so what we got here? Of course, to Busey. Of course, to my success. Do you want to get right to business? Or, I have yet to become a baroness, and already it seems that someone wishes to poison me. That's such a mean thing to say, and I want to say it.
To beauty. It sweetens our happy days, and brings solace to our dark and sorrowful ones.
Okay, it wasn't Nihilus. Fair enough. Oh, and thanks for the follow, Oxen. Oh, I'm pronouncing that right. Nihilus? Wait, yeah, it is just Casey. Casey? Casey smiles and taps her cup to yours.
But jokes aside,
Casey stops smiling.
To apologize. I know the words I said in our conversation with Lady Aldery might have offended you, but this was not my intention. The lessons life has dealt me were not easy. I've learned to be wary of new acquaintances, which is why I've refused to join your party. I hope you will forgive me for this weakness and for my harsh words. And I hope you will hear me out, for I have something to tell you.
Okay, so we got the need to apologise. I don't expect everyone I meet to immediately fall into my charms and entrust me with all their secrets. I mean, what is this? A game where I just have to say the right thing and everyone jumps into bed with me? Nihilus. To defeat the gnomes. Something. I'll make a tiefling out of you. Apology accepted. What did you want to tell me? First I will listen to what you have to say, and then I will decide what I think of your repentance. You've shown your duplicity once. I don't want to have anything further to do with you. Wow, mean. Okay, she was playable in the opening, so hopefully she'll join my party.
How amusing. Usually those who don't seek affection are the very ones who receive it. Anyway, enough sweet talk. There is something important I wanted to tell you.
Casey looks down at her cup for a moment.
As it happens, I came across some very valuable information. What brave conqueror of these wild lands wouldn't be intrigued by news of an ancient shrine, possibly full of great treasures?
Sounds
a place
good.
Such as this was discovered by my old friends from Kadira. and it just so happens to be located in the lands that today become rightfully yours. My friends lack the courage to enter the shrine and seek the treasure, but what will stop us? We who know the taste of battle and have been singed by the same fire.
Casey stops, looking at you expectantly. Yeah, my character's chaotic neutral. She's down for a treasure hunt.
I'm sure you'd like to finally gain your official title and celebrate your victory. And I don't like noisy parties and ceremonies. Find me when you return to your dominion. I'll rent a house in your capital. We can discuss the details of our expedition there.
Okay, how quickly are we building this city-state then? Is it just going to spring up overnight? I think what I like about this game is well, Pathfinder originally does this anyway. It sort of rolls with the idea that there's multiple adventuring parties all over the place. Like, sort of early editions of D&D sort of lent on the idea that your party were basically the only ones trying to save the world and whatnot.
So long, friend. I'll call you so today because soon enough, all you'll be hearing is, Your Grace, Your Grace, Your Grace.
Okay, I like how they handle the sort of character name and the dialogue here. So for those who aren't reading the dialogue, the actual text says, "So long, Brioche. I'll call you by your name today," instead of obviously the voice acting set just to use "my friend." I'll call you my friend today, which is basically the same effect. Losing you of the cup, the tiefling girl steps back and disappears in the shadows between the columns. Tieflings X saluting and being mysterious. Is there any more amazing combination? She literally just disappears. Who have we got here? Chandra Murphy? Ah yes, see how good old Restov hasn't changed a bit. Even the smell in the streets is the same. Natala Server. Oh, Satova. Natala Satova is discussing something with an unfamiliar old lady in a low voice. Upon noticing you, she breaks into a sugary sweet smile. You're not only tough but quick. Well, congratulations on your victory. Enjoy it while you can. Is that a threat? I would never. I simply wish to warn you in case you don't fully realise the fate that awaits you in your barony. What do you think awaits me? Nothing good, I fear. The Aldori, our dearest friends, don't deem it necessary to inform you of their plans, I assume. You see, they're preparing to separate from Brevoy. It will not be a peaceful process. They lack the strength currently, hence using this legal loophole to create some independent allies. Once the civil war breaks out, your lands will be the first to endure a strike from Brevoy's forces. Perhaps they'll erect a memorial stone in independent Restov to honour you. Well, I wouldn't count on even that, really. What would you propose? In your situation, the most reasonable course of action would be to align yourself with the lawful rulers of Brevoy, the noble houses. The Aldori won't dare rebel, knowing they will immediately become entrapped. You could help Brevoy avoid a civil war, simultaneously enjoying some well-deserved peace in your lands. Yeah, well, here's the thing. I'm too chaotic neutral to care about that. Nolus, is it you or is our rent a house in your capital, Emily Dickinson, levels of lesbian? I mean, maybe? I'm sure she just wants to be friends. I believe Jamonde has already attempted to impose a guard on you as an emissary. I'm guessing her lowborn stepson, the greenskin boy, Cassil. It's up to you, of course. I'd recommend you a different envoy. Please meet Shanda Murvey, an experienced diplomat who's more familiar with Brevoy's politics than any brawler could be. The old woman standing next to Natalia gives you a slight bow. I would be happy to help you establish diplomatic relations with Brevoy. Yeah, I'll think about that. Think on it. Do not make any hasty decisions. Okay. Guest. All these young here. Okay, already read that one. All of high society is here. Even Natala Surtova. There could be an assassination. A provocation. Anything. Yes. I'm guessing if I speak to the important people, that'll end the whole scene anyway. Itzvanki Keeg, a handsome man with a rather beaten face, grasps your hand tight in his rough, calloused palms. Unlike the rest of the guests in their festive clothes, he wears a simple robe. The only luxury you see on him is a holy symbol of Everestil, made of solid gold. The other guests look at him with respect, some bordering on awe. Nurlus, green-skinned boy, an orc. Is he cute? Well, we met him earlier and... Yes, he is. Congratulations on your victory, he says in a deep voice. Allow me to introduce myself. I'm Itzvanki Keeg, High Priest of Erestil in Restov. Do many people in Restov venerate Erestil? They revere many gods in Restov. They pray to Abadar, patron of cities, and Pharasma, gatherer of souls. There are also some more rare cults, but there's no denying that the stag god has the largest congregation here, and no wonder. People have lived off farming and hunting for centuries. Your dress surprisingly simple for such a festive occasion. The corners of the priest's mouth turn up in a faint smile. The nobles dress in silks and satins to stand out from the poor. A priest wears a simple robe to stand out from the nobles. Law religion check passed. I saw how you fought beside Germania that night. Your god granted you impressive power. Yes, I used to serve Eristil on a battlefield, but those days are long past. Now I call on his power to heal those who've fallen from a roof more often than anyone wounded by a sword. Of course, someone has to roam the forest and slay monsters. I'm more useful to my congregation here, attending to more mundane affairs like hospitals, shelters, and charity fairs. Oxen, every orc is cute. True facts. Yeah, she was talking about Regavar. Basically, she was trying to sort of... The end of the last session, obviously my sort of patron, not in the warlock sense, in the made me a baroness sense, warned me that her city-states enemies might try to convince me to their side, and that was they. Hey, Enfys. This is a very sedate party. Somebody should show these nobles how it's done. No less, Enfys about to invent twerking. Yes, fancy seeing me here on my own stream. Dressed as a tiefling, no less. Very unexpected. Okay, Diplomacy 18. Oh hey, apparently I'm the best diplomat. Oh wait, I'm the only one in my party, aren't I? Bringing law into the stolen land is a difficult endeavour. I'll be grateful for any help you could spare. Failed.
Our most pious aspirations are often hindered. But is it not the case that overcoming such an obstacle allows us to become closer to our God? I give you my blessing, and I believe you will be able to overcome these hardships and achieve your goals.
Oh well, it was an honor to meet you. Goodbye.
I will still keep you.
Oh. Rigongar.
Aha! To victory! To freedom! Bottoms up! Yes.
Oh no, if you meant, is it the party member? No. It's the envoy. He's apparently the adopted son of my patron, who she was talking about. Octavia. Try the eclairs. They're delicious. Gars. Can't believe all these poor people are called guard. Oh, Valerie. Truth be told, I'm not comfortable here. I have lost my taste for high society. Okay, cop.
So was it you who dealt with the Stag Lord? Allow me to shake your hand.
Hannes Drelev. Hannes Drelev. This man's gorgeous clothes hide rippling muscles beneath them. He looks past your ear, obviously bored.
Baron Hannes Drevlev.
He says offhandedly, emphasizing the word Baron.
And you must be the Stag Lord Butcher. I'm sorry, I quite forgot your name. But you took out the Stag Lord and his gang, and so Sword Lord Gemandi is granting you permission to take his place, right? Well, congratulations. My landslide to the rest are yours. I suppose we're late neighbours now.
Yeah, I'm going to take the sass here. Yes, I defeated the Stag Lord. Pray tell, what did you do to deserve your new dominion? I suppose I could also call him not very polite, but... A smirk appears on the Baron's face.
I don't need to desert or prove anything. Countless generations of my glorious ancestors have done so for me. If I had a slightly bigger army, Sword Lord Gemandi would have had simply given me all of the stolen lands to me. Alas, I don't have so many soldiers at my disposal. So she had to urgently make barons of the likes of you and Varn. So you have no army and no special merits. You're just given land for being pretty? Under other circumstances, I'd have you whipped for such words, but let's not ruin Lady Uladori's celebration, If you want us so badly to measure merit, we can do so another time.
I'm so personally assassinating you. You're not very polite for a nobleman.
Ha! Politeness must be deserved.
Not even deigning to reply, Baron Drelev turns around and looks away. Such arrogance for a man without a character portrait. Guests? Ah, harem.
A feast in times of pestilence. A ludicrous attempt to sink into reverie. To digress from contemplating one's own insignificance.
Oh, never change. Okay, is that everyone? Can I talk to the guard? Yep, nothing else to say.
The dangers don't frighten me.
Saying that while,
I'll share my path.
Hashtag let the gods eat something. Jeez. Nolus turns around and looks away. Yep, having a look at the fun looking at the wall. Exactly.
Hell.
Thanks for giving me the weather, I guess. Oh, there's your fowl. Didn't see her there. They call this a feast. I'd show them some real festivities if they'd let me. Yeah, I know what your idea of festivities are. Lander. A handsome, well-dressed young man of about 17 years old looks at you with a polite smile. So, you're the famous slayer of the Staglor's gang. Seem to be a baroness. Pleased to make your acquaintance. My name's Lander. Just Lander? No last name? No title? Well, let's just say I'm here incognito. Under my circumstances, it's wiser to keep one's lineage to oneself. Okay, this guy's totally a sorcerer. Yes, no less. You're about to invent twerking. Truth be told, I won't. That's precisely what I wanted to speak with you about. You see, I'm an heir to one of the Ravoy's noble houses. I won't say which, but believe me, a newly appointed baroness with no connections would do well to have a friend like me. Okay, Robin Williams. I travel the country in secret without servants, so I can see it for myself. Not from a carriage window, but face to face with the people. My family would never approve, of course, but then I never asked. I need to know before if I'm going to rule a part of it someday. I know Jemandi wants to impose her stepson on you as an emissary of Bravoy. Refuse. Take me instead. Don't look at my age. While they may have trained this half-orc to swing a sword, I've been training to rule since I was a child. I'll be of far greater use to you both now and in the future, after I have a firm position in my family. Are you from Restavik nobility? Oh no, I'm not from here. I'm just visiting. You could say. I wanted to see for myself the heroes who managed to conquer the frontier lands, and the Lord Mayor was kind enough to invite me to this wonderful party. Please tell me again what you're doing here. Okay, he's already said that. Ah, looks like same brain, no less. Tell me once more what you want from me. I know Jemandi wants to input. Okay, already read that one. Did he a suggestion? Yes, do so and carefully. Guess I need to choose an advisor. Yeah, Mari. That wine's alright. Nice and strong. But the appetizers, barely a mouthful. Guest, it's nice to see the beginning of a future noble family. Tristinian. These people are not just celebrating. It seems your feat has given them hope. Okay, forward then. Iosif Selamus. An older man full of sideburns looks at you with interest through a golden eyeglass. Well now, if it isn't the hero of the festivities, the protege of our dear Jemandi. You pull this all off quite cleverly. I confess I wasn't convinced your enterprise would succeed. I even bet a bottle of my best Pitaxian wine against you. I'm happy to admit I was wrong. The Eladori have always been adept at finding new talent. I don't believe we've been introduced. He's Prince Ali. I mean, plot twist, maybe he isn't noble. So it would seem. I'm Iosif Selamus, Lord Mayor of Restov.
I rule this town and the adjacent lands. As your northern neighbour, I hope we can look forward to a long and fruitful friendship.
So you rule Restov, and what about the Eldori?
Brevoy's politics seem complex and incomprehensible to many. Here in this part of Rossland, the spirit of northern freedom still lives. We are loyal to the throne, of course. May the gods prolong the life of His Highness. But here, far from the domains of the great houses, we have our own way of life. This is especially important now, after the certain events that I probably don't need to name. The Eldori sellswords used to rule Rossland. They're still the largest landowners and the main military force in the region. But it's not for nothing that Restov is called a free city. We're proud to choose the Lord Mayor from among the citizens, considered not by their lineage, but by their own merits.
What kind of events were you talking about? Mayor Salamis gives you a patronising smile.
Why? An aspiring politician needs to be well informed. I'm talking, of course, about the disappearance of the ruling house, Rogravia. Can you imagine it? Old Man Troll conquered our land 2 centuries ago. It would be a shameless lie to say that nobody wished his royal house could just disappear into thin air, but once that exact thing happened, turned out no one was ready for it. Poof! All over the country, every member of the royal house disappeared without a trace. Nobody knows what happened. It's a mystery, but a mystery pregnant with opportunity for everyone.
How are things in Restov?
I don't want to boast, but things have been going well in recent years. Trade prospers, the population grows, and the citizens are happy. Although recently, especially after the appearance of House Rogavia.
I'm going to stop trying to pronounce that before I embarrass myself again.
More and more troublemakers have been appearing, and people are talking about the most shocking things. But these sorts of rumours aren't worthy of your attention.
It was nice meeting you. Goodbye.
Please wait a moment. Your young barony will need resources to establish itself, and from what I've been told, it's somewhat in need of financial assistance. I could organise and supply everything you need for the construction, and spread out the cost on extremely favourable terms. I could immediately procure, let's say, 500 cartloads of building supplies. I'm sure that will give you a good start. In exchange, I would ask a small favour. Until you repay the debt in full, you simply assume the obligation of contracting building services through Restov Builders Guild. Do we have a deal?
Okay, I'm going to say the chaotic neutral option here would be to not accept the offer.
It's your choice, of course. I'll figure it. I figured I'd mention it.
Okay, should I accept the offer? Should I accept the offer? I'll accept the offer.
Then it's a deal. I'll get everything in order right away, and schedule a delivery immediately. Feeling is mutual, I assure you. I look forward to hearing more of your dazzling successes soon.
Casiladori. Today is a historic day for all of Restov and maybe for all of Brevoy.
So, how do you like our little gathering? I hope you've made some useful connections. Shall we move on to the official proceedings?
I'm kind of sad I don't get to make friends with the guards. They probably know what they're actually doing. Oh, hey Willow, how's it going? You haven't missed much. Just 45 minutes of party guest mingling. Before we begin, I'd like to talk about the envoy I'll be taking with me.
My apprentice, Casil Aldori, will go with you, won't he?
Okay, so... It's definitely not going to be Chandra because I don't trust them. But I'm intrigued with Lander. Yeah, I'll be honest, I kind of like the orc kid.
Whatever you choose, I won't argue. But you must choose your inner circle with the utmost care.
I'm ready for the ceremony.
Excellent. Stand here.
Here comes the ceremony, I guess.
Lords and ladies, today we are here to honor 3 brave people who have done the impossible. They've tamed the stolen lands. Baron Hannes Drelev, the new master of Glenabon, Captain Maegor Varn, the conqueror of Dunsword, and finally, the tamer of the Shrike Hills, who put an end to the atrocities of the Stag Lord's bandits. Step forward. On behalf of the people of the free city of Restov, I confer upon you this noble title. Rise, your grace.
Achievement unlocked. Foundation. Willow, weird old day, but tomorrow will be better. Yep. I suppose that's it, isn't it?
Victory.
No matter what happens.
The Stag Lord's dead, and the capital of the new barony has been built in place of his fort. That was how the long and challenging taming of the stolen lands began.
Yep. Whatever else happens, you always get a sunrise in the morning, I guess. Oh, okay, so, yeah, I guess, I do get to keep that house I was searching. It used to be called Baroness. Keston Garrus.
Welcome, Your Grace.
Keston salutes you. You can see he's a bit anxious, and it seems he'd rehearsed his speech many times.
Let me once again congratulate you on your victory and your new title. Lady Jamandi transferred me here. I'm at your disposal. I'm not one to bestow honours, but I want you to know I'm glad to serve you. I'm here to welcome you on behalf of your new capital citizens. Staglord's former stronghold will be a thriving city. Word travels fast, and the first settlers have already arrived, with new ones approaching as we speak.
So wait, how much of a time skip was this? Like, I know there was already some houses, but how long did it take them to build an entire city?
While you were visiting Restov, much had been done here. Your benefactors, Eldori, invested a great deal of resources in rebuilding the city. I stand ready to answer your questions and show you around the most important sites.
Okay, where are my companions?
They were all somewhere around here, but I never kept an eye on who went where exactly. Well, I assume Tristan is with Jord. You can always find Lindsay. Just follow the noise and turmoil.
The main question is, where can I get a drink or free? It's time to taste my victory. Keston hesitates a brief moment and then laughs.
I'll make sure to show you the moment we enter the city. The tavern was the first business that opened. Building a city is thirsty work, and I beg your forgiveness for my behaviour during your reception. I drank a little too much. It is a day for celebration.
Oh yeah, he was drunk, wasn't he? Are there any citizens I should know about? Any tieflings? Rented houses?
Our old acquaintance John is right here. Aristill's clerics normally don't like cities much, but he's still eager to serve you. Also, the emissary from Brevois is here, waiting for you in the throne room. There's also this curious matter. An elf has paid us a visit. A blind elf. Desna only knows how he managed to get here. He seems peaceful, even pleasant fellow, though naturally a little odd, so let him stay here a while. It's up to you what you decide to do with him now. That's about it, I guess.
Wait, was that the potion maker? What's the mood of the people here?
I must admit, I've never seen anything like that my whole life. A city, or barony, born right in front of our eyes. People sensed the moment, and today we're feeling proud. As a rule, I'm not too cheerful or chatty. I normally feel out of place among all the rejoicing. But today is just one of those days.
I'm ready to look around the city. Lead the way.
Follow me, Your Grace.
Seems like an opportune moment for some TSMR. Greetings, Your Grace. Well, your new subjects. We're selecting a site to build our house. Oh, neat. It's wet in the lake and windy up here on the hill. A fine place to throw garbage at your neighbour's head through... Oh, ouch. It's a good thing you got rid of those monsters and bandits, Your Grace. Ah. Wait, is that a child or a halfling?
Do you recognise this place, Your Grace? This is where the Saglor's fortress wall used to be. Not that it saved him in the end, huh?
Damn, they've been rebuilding.
Our work is to do a fine job turning this bandit den into the heart of the town. The heart of every town is the main square. We plan to hold the street festivals and fairs here. Look, we already have our first vendor.
Selling. I hope it's pie.
Greetings, Your Grace. In turn, if you turn to the right from the square, you'll end up straight in our tavern.
Excellent. Exactly, Nerlus. Suddenly unlocks the settlement building sub-game from Fallout 4.
Tavern's ale is blessed by Caden Helene himself, I swear. And the lady who owns it is a gem.
I've heard our Baroness is as tall as a troll.
Oh, that's nonsense. Except for the part about breathing fire. All barons can breathe fire, trust me.
Wait until they find out I can double jump.
Welcome, Your Grace. Glad to serve you.
Herb.
Your Grace, those are our guards. They keep order in the city, or keep their mouths busy with blah, blah, blah.
Oh, hey, Hassan.
Here's the observation platform. I hope one day your capital will grow large enough that we won't be able to see its fullest extent from this perch. The building in front of us is your residence. That's where we'll head to now.
Righty. We'll just do some TSMR. Okay, tutorial. You're about to make the unyielding Stolen Lands a prosperous kingdom. There is a long and arduous road ahead of you. You and your advisors are going to deal with matters of national importance, expand and build up settlements, choose and develop new regions, solve pressing problems, and take advantage of good opportunities. A prosperous governor will be handsomely rewarded with support and donations from their subjects, promising alliances with other states, and wealth for their treasury, and many other things. Good luck in your ruling, Baroness. Thank you for posting the TASMR emoji.
So now we've reached the main chambers. This is the throne room, where you'll hold court and receive visitors. Let me draw your attention to this large map, depicting your barony and its surroundings. Or mark the important scout reports and other news worthy of your grace's attention.
Having finished his speech, Gaston tucks his thumbs under his belt and stands quietly. Like a cowboy. Greetings, Your Grace. Cassil, Lady Jamandi's ward, gives a polite bow. Okay, so this is the orc that was being talked about, Nihilus. It was a pleasure to meet you at the rest-off reception. On behalf of your allies and benefactors, the Eldori Sword Lords, I'd like to offer you some advice. Variant effects. Immunity +6, Loyalty +6, Military +3, Economy +3, Divine +3, Arcane +3, Stability +3. New event. Trade agreement with Satova. Agreement with Iosif Selamus. Ivonki's offer. Pillage the Temple of the Elk. Rebuild the Temple of the Elk. Difficulty level of your barony. You may change the difficulty level of your barony at any time or set it to automatic. If set to automatic, you won't have to deal with most government decisions. They'll be taken care of automatically, and your barony will never fail. However, this will also prevent you from unlocking any governance-related achievements. You can solve most of your barony's problems by granting appointments to the right people, responsible people. Certain state businesses will demand your personal attention, as will the visits of especially important guests. Reports of such outstanding events will be marked on your map. You can always check it out while considering plans. According to the ancient traditions of Brivoy and most of the river kingdoms, rulers address affairs of state and receive visitors at the beginning of the month. My advice to you is to maintain this tradition and regularly visit your capital when needed. First thing you should do as a ruler is assign loyal people to all the important positions of your barony. Your clerics, Jordan and Tristan, were the first to seek an audience. I won't distract you further. I'll leave you to consider. Once again, my congratulations. May your rule be long and prosperous. Lord Capkin. Your Grace, allow me to congratulate you on receiving the title of Baroness. I'm confident that you'll be able to bring order to these troubled lands. God stumbles slightly, although to be honest, this isn't exactly what I wanted to speak to you about. Justinian and I have been talking a great deal about what happened to the Temple of the Elk. It doesn't all make sense to us yet, but one thing's clear. There's a powerful curse at work. It corrupted the very essence of that sacred place, steeping it with putrescence. I'm disgusted with whoever could do this. I mean, we kind of did kill the guy who did it without speaking to him, so that's not great. Yep, exactly, Nellis. Time to build some water turrets out of desk fans and broken cameras. Willow, your adopted gay son that failed his maths GCSE. Yep, this game has the Trekkie representation, I guess. God exhales loudly, catching his breath.
And now there is a new woe. Justinian and I believe that the curse did simply not disperse of its own accord. There was a place near the capital rumoured by the locals to be cursed. Justinian and I visited this dreadful place. We feel the same putrescence as the Temple of the Elk.
What is this place?
There is a bold hilltop not far from here to the north of the capital. Its crown is entirely barren of life. The locals believe that rituals glorifying the dark gods were held there, back in ancient times. There is no longer any trace of such rituals, but the air around the hilltop is heavy to the point of stifling. This place is like a rotting wound, closed but not healed.
Bold hilltop has been revealed.
And this wound will undoubtedly open once again. Justinian and I felt something approaching, something ominous. Us will soon return to plague us once more. I swear by Iristil.
Yep, I'll go there as soon as I'm able.
I'd be happy to accompany you. I will not expect to see anything new there at present. I agree with Justinian. We've been to the hilltop. It's barren but filled with a dense atmosphere of unease.
What do you suggest?
The curse will grow in strength, and we predict it will reach the peak of its strength in about 1 month. That's when we should visit the Bald Hilltop and resolve this issue.
Now we can only wait and prepare.
We beg your pardon, your grace, for intervening with you getting the grasp of your barony. I'm sure you have even more pressing matters at hand right now.
Yep, guess that's going to be the next major thing.
I decree we set up camp.
Barony stats. The barony has 10 basic stats, each supervised by an advisor. They're as follows: population regent, loyalty councillor, military general, economy treasurer, divine high priest, relations grand diplomat, ability warden, magic magister, culture curator, and espionage minister. Stats increase if your governance is successful and decrease if events don't end well, or other negative factors are placed in your way. Don't let your barony stats drop to 0 or lower. This will cause your subjects to riot and your state will begin to crumble. Each stat has a certain milestones of ranks within them. Every 20 points in a stat will increase your rank. Rank 1 unlocks a corresponding advisor position for that stat. Further development of that stat and upgrades to its ranks will be possible only if you have an advisor in the relevant position. Governing your barony will require 1 advisor for each stat. You may appoint your companions as well as some of the stolen land citizens to these advisor positions. Each of the 10 positions has at least 3 characters who are qualified to hold it. Not all of these characters will be willing to serve you right away. Some will need to be convinced. Appointing others will require completing an assignment for them, rendering them some other service. Every advisor acts on their own ideology, have their own opinions on everything that happens in your domain. Therefore, you may want to select characters whose governance philosophy is consistent with your own. Open the advisor tab on the right side of the screen, click an empty slot and select a character to appoint as an advisor. Every barony stat gains a bonus specific ability of the appointed advisor. The exact size of the bonus is indicated on the upper right of the advisor's card. Only advisors may address the problems, opportunities, and events that occur in your domain and require immediate attention. Don't leave these positions vacant. Okay, what should we call this place then? Oh, welcome back, Nick. You returned from Elden Ring, having gotten your ass handed to you by 3 snails. Ah, the less successful sequel to Freebird. Yes, no, listen, playing Fallout 4 / Civilization / Sim Barony. So, what do we call my new barony? Oh, I think we know. No less, what's that Game of Thrones like game where you can make a king who's 0 years old? Unless anyone wants to suggest a different name. Yeah, or alternatively, Yatin State. Now I'll stick with Barony. Baron face. I'd live there. Settlement map. Click your capital icon to open the settlement map. Wait, where's the icon? Okay, projects. Agreement with Iosif Salamus. Lord Mayor of Restov has offered 500 BP and financial assistance in exchange for your promise to work exclusively with Restov's Builder Guild. It's a generous offer. Okay, advisors. No trigger candidates. Okay. God does his best to solve problems without disrupting local traditions. He's probably the sensible one then. Regent. Yeah, let's not go with the cop. Councillor. We got Tristinian. General. Yeah. Kind of want Imare. Ragongar, I'm a bit nervous about. Okay, I think I'll have to go with Cassil. Can't appoint a treasurer yet, though. Nolus Uskdale, is that a new kind of pig Latin? Region. I guess. Economy. Correct. Rebuild the Temple of the Elk. Yeah, let's put John in charge of that. Trade agreement with Satova. Okay, we need more BP for that. Ivanki's offer. High Priest of Estil has a strong interest in spreading the Stag God's faith. Build a shrine. Okay, Jod's in charge already. Candidates available for that. Training. Curses. Don't want any curses. Aim outskirts. Declare the outskirts a part of your kingdom. Okay, we'll have Tristanian help with that. Claiming new regions. You may claim new regions to expand your territory. Open the Regions tab on the right side of the screen to increase your barony stats and found settlements in new lands. Okay. That development meeting with an advisor. Okay, it's just throwing all the tutorials at me at once. No less does appointing someone take them out of your party, or is it like Guild of Icons where AO can be the mayor and still go off adventuring? No idea. No less. Vonky. Want to get magnifying glass. Whatever choices you make, remember your advisors might disapprove. If the current advisor decides that you argue too much, they'll quit forever. After you talk to an advisor and make a decision, a new kingdom project will be available. Okay. Success. Your barony has expanded and now it includes the outskirts. Nice. That's a nice effect. I build a bigger city. Advisor wants to discuss an urgent matter that concerns the barony's future. To the throne room then. Justinian lowers his head. Greetings, Baroness. I'm sorry to take you away from your other affairs, but your people need you. When the stolen lands were freed from the Stag Lord, the people sighed in relief, but many are still confused by their swift change in fortune. Truth be told, they simply don't know what to think of the new Baroness, nor what to expect of you. Will you be a fair ruler for all, or only for those of wealth and status? Let us reassure your people. Show them where your favour truly rests. Perhaps a small celebration would help win them over. Of course, you could spend the same amount on a luxurious dinner for the wealthiest of your barony. But I recommend organising a fair for the common people, the ones whose shoulders your power truly rests. Okay, hold a fair. I want to know that I hold them closest to my heart. +2 community and culture. Okay, I guess I can just be a nerd. No less. Glame outskirts. Asserting ownership of a mine where the workers all have long hair is how you glame metal. No less. Yeah, I'm gonna hold a festival for the people. Minion smiles warmly. Hold a common celebration where everyone will be welcome, including the poor and downtrodden. This is the greatest gift a ruler can give to her people. Varying effects, +2 community and +2 culture. New event, support the councillor's endeavours. Achievement progress, opportunity. 1 out of 100. Harem. Harem looks embarrassed. He runs his fingers through his beard and clears his throat a few times, and speaks at last.
I heard. Not that it's important, but well.
He clears his throat again.
I heard that an ancient trade road built by the dwarves of the 5 Kings, mountains, runs through these lands. But I don't know what happened to them or where they went. Unforgiving time spares no one, but the road itself is still here. And possibly not only the road.
Harem holds his beard in his fist.
Well, Brioche, I have a request. If you find any dwarven ruins in this area, I'd like to see them with my own eyes.
Why do you ask this? Harem fiddles with his beard again.
I shouldn't, probably. It's like a wound that's never healed. You know it'll only hurt more, but you need to scratch it. Of course it's foolish in vain. I still wish to look upon them.
Of course, Harem. If I find any dwarven ruins, I'll take you to them.
Thank you, Brioche, and well, thank you.
Achievement progress, troubleshooter. Unwanted legacy, Harem left his homeland. Yep, that's a side quest. The Five Kings. Yeah, I don't get that reference, no less. Lord Kravken.
Your Grace, I was at our legs training post recently, and I noticed old Bokken just standing there, bored to death with nothing to do. This is most unfortunate. After all, the old grumbler is a very knowledgeable alchemist. However, he's no use to his skills, since the locals need nothing more than the simplest of healing potions. And then it struck me, why don't you hire him as your court alchemist? His decoctations and tinctures would certainly prove most useful for you, and it might be cheaper than simply buying them from him or some other merchant.
Yeah, that's actually a good idea. Let's do that. Oh yeah, we need to go deal with the riverbed nightmare, don't we? Next development in 27 days and 3 hours. Okay. Now let's hire that Elric guy for that. I don't know. I don't know if he's the handiest person. Someone else might have a bit of a leg up on him. And you know, some people are just selling him short. Barony McBaron face.
How may I serve you, Your Grace?
How are you enjoying your duties as the High Priest?
Everything is all well, Your Grace. I just keep forgetting what a mess it is in the stolen lands, and how troubled are the minds of its people. Sometimes I must listen to such nonsense from my visitors. Erastil, forgive them.
Cassil Odori, elegantly dressed in more formal clothes as always, welcomes you with a courteous half bow.
Your Grace?
Like to know more about you?
Happy to serve, Your Grace.
Cassil bows courteously. Tell me of your origins.
I grew up alone on the streets of Restov. I know nothing of my parents. It's more likely that my mother just wants to be rid of me. Probably left me somewhere in an alley as a baby. I don't feel I have the right to blame her. I don't remember how I survived. My first memory was of sneaking into someone's backyard. I must have been 3 or 4, and trying to steal food from a cat.
Cassil smiles sadly. A half-orc among the Brevik aristocracy is a rare sight indeed.
Lady de Maladori herself brought me into the family. She picked me up off the streets when I was about 14. I was fighting some Lord's guardsmen. The master had expressed his wish, in the most inappropriate manner, to acquaint me with his female wolfhounds, in the hopes of producing offspring.
Cassiel's lips turn up slightly at the corners, just stopping short of looking sinister. No other sign of emotion crosses his face.
I was at what would politely be called a disadvantage when I saw a flashing beam of light reflect off a lone sword. What happened next was too fast for me to follow, but all three of my torturers fell to the ground. A single woman standing above them. She turned to the Lord and coldly asked him, "And just what is it you're doing in here?"
Cassiel speaks almost reverently, genuine awe in his voice.
I had never seen a rhetoric noble so appraised, but he was almost reverent, and this Lord was a close companion to the mayor at that. At the time, I had no idea who this woman was. I couldn't keep myself from rushing after her, while hobbling, really, and pleading with her. "Teach me, please, teach me."
Oh, that's cute. What's it like for you, living among humans?
It isn't easy, Your Grace. I was born and raised in Restov. I don't know a single word of Orc. I devoted my life entirely to proving myself worthy to bear the name Aldori, but to most people, I'm still a half-Orc first and foremost. Anything else is secondary. This infuriated me when I was younger, but with age, I've learned to accept my fate. To me, I'm simply Cassiel, a street urchin from Restov who became the student of a sword lord, Giamanti Aladori. Nothing more, nothing less.
Thank you, let's discuss something less personal.
If it pleases Your Grace.
Okay, I need to discuss politics and affairs of the barony with you.
I may be of service, Your Grace.
What's the situation between Aldori and the royal house Satova? Cassiel's face remains impassive, but his speech becomes slower and more deliberate.
The Satovas and the Aldori are different in nature and spirit. They are as water and stone, a snake and eagle. When Corral the Conqueror came to our lands, the Satovas didn't even attempt to defend themselves. They gave up the crown in exchange for positions of power in the new court, along with the safety of their lands. The Eldari went to war, and lost. I dare not even say valiantly lost. The damage inflicted on Rostland's army by the Red Dragons of the Corral the Conqueror, well, it was slaughter. A crushing defeat.
Barely noticeable frown darkened Cassiel's face.
Even with 2 centuries of effort, Eldori and Rostland have yet to fully recover. For 2 centuries we fought for survival, while the Satovas have flourished and grown, strong at the side of the throne. Needless to say, now the king, Noleski Satova and his sister Natala rule over Bravoy, our relationship hasn't improved. The Satovas fear the Eldari, and the Eldari don't trust the Satovas. That's the current situation between our houses.
And yeah, regarding his backstory, Pathfinder was still kind of about half orcs. So they just sort of copied everything over from 3.5 edition. So yeah, thankfully Pathfinder 2nd edition's a bit better about that. What can you tell me about the River Kingdoms?
In times past, they were little more than a nest of bandits. Frankly, that hasn't really changed.
Cassiel frowns disapprovingly.
All the kingdoms, Pitax has probably the greatest interest. King Orovi rose to power too quickly and too easily. I would recommend Your Grace take great caution with him.
You must know the history of Bravoy and the neighbouring lands. Cassiel's light up.
In Restov, I spent nearly as much time studying historical chronicles as I did training with the sword. What would you like to discuss, Your Grace?
I'd like to hear about the early history of Bravoy.
That's a story written in blood. Aldori blood, mostly. In the beginning, Bravoy was 2 independent lands. Al-Satova reigned over Issia, and the Aldori ruled over Rostland. They were not peaceable neighbours. Issia's soil was too poor to sustain its population, and its people were too cruel and too proud to simply stand by and watch as their neighbours prospered. I'd be willing to bet that Restov's northern walls still hold a few marks left by Satova soldiers during their frequent raids from ages past. It was Corral Rogarvia later known as Corral the Conqueror, who put an end to all that. He brought each realm to its knees. Only one side knelt willingly. The owner ended up first paying a devastating toll.
Notice you have paid no attention to the lore so far, but is hanging on to this character's every word. Yeah, I like this guy. I'm trying to remember if he's one of the sort of actual original Pathfinder lore characters, or if he's original to this game.
I could speak for days about the Sword Lords, but I'll try to condense things so as not to bore your grace. Our history goes back to ancient times, when Rosslyn was ruled by Baron Syrian I. He was a notorious squabbler and a duelist. At the time, he wasn't as skillful as he thought. After losing a fight against a local gang leader, the Baron was the one who issued the challenge, went into exile to hide his shame. But that was just the beginning. No one knows where Syrian wandered. A few years later, he returned to Rosslyn a changed man. He challenged that same gang leader to another duel, and bested him handily. The Baron then declared an open challenge. Anyone who could defeat him will be rewarded handsomely. After that, not a month would pass without Syrian seeking another challenger. Renowned fighters and experienced warriors came and went, but none, not a single one, could best the Baron. In those years, Syrian took on a new name, Aldori. Many people prefer to call him simply the Sword Baron.
So the Baron was the first Sword Lord?
Very same. His heirs inherited the secrets of his dueling style, along with the name Aldori. Ever since, the name has been passed down from master to students along with the title of Sword Lord. The Aldori is simultaneously a family of an alliance. Sword Lords will usually teach their own children, but many of us were brought from outside the family. Occasionally, you can even see a half-orc fosterling or two.
Cassiel gives a slight bow. How do you like being general? Cassiel bows.
I thank you for the faith you placed in me. I shall do my best to prove worthy of your trust.
Thank you. I've done what I needed. Octavia, how you doing? I can just banish her. I can banish all my companions. It's actually kind of scaring me how close the I'm just every time I'm speaking to them, I'm getting paranoid about clicking on the go away link.
How may I serve you, your grace?
Spoken to him. Oh, there's Lindsay. Okay, no, but banishing her. How's it going, guard? Sorry about the whole thing at the feast. Long live the Baroness. I like this guy. Let's promote him. Is that a chest? I'm opening the chest. Okay, that's my personal stash. Where I can stash stuff. Personal. There's my old crossbow. Guess I should store the books. Sell the sickle if I... Storyteller. I've already had one of those. Storyteller. The man standing before you resembles an elf, but a very old one. His face is wrinkled, and his beard is as white as mountain snow. The man seems to be completely blind. Okay, this is the one the guard guy was talking about. The old man stares past you with unseeing eyes. Seems to be consumed in his thoughts. He mutters a soft melody, going back and forth slightly to its rhythm. The man shudders briefly and stops singing. His mouth opens and closes a few times, bringing some other fish brought ashore.
Ah, who is there? Is that you, your grace?
No less is the banishing thing permanent or temporary. I'd assume it's permanent, but I'm not sure, because I'm not doing it. Who are you?
I am an elf from Kyonin. My name is not important. I am the storyteller, a collector of stories. I collect unknown legends of ancient times.
The man smiles, but doesn't seem to be directed towards you.
Long ago I was a smith at Kyonin. The fire of the forge has burnt out my eyes, but I am grateful for it. If I could see, I would yet forge suits of armor for yonder's guards. Instead, I have stepped on the path of adventure and gatherer of ancient legends.
The old man ponders silently for a moment.
Many people are long dead, their homes crumble to dust, and their bodies turn to ash. Only legends can tell us of their triumphs and defeats, their joys and fears. I would be so interested to hear the stories told of us about us after our demise.
No less, it seems weird that it'd be permanent, although the wording shows how it makes it sound like it is. Yeah, you can just choose which party members you're taking with you when you set out.
I've always been drawn to the stolen lands, where countless expedition armies and even kingdoms have met their untimely ends. When I learned of a new barony being founded in the heart of these lands, I knew I wanted to be part of its story, so I made the journey here.
Are you really an elf? Do other elves age like you have?
A common question. Despite my unusual looks, I am an elf. An old one, yes, perhaps older than any other elf of Kyonin. However, I doubt my age alone is responsible for my appearance. I keep the stories of many people and races, some forever gone from the face of Galarian. They live on in my memory and in my heart. When I accept a new story, I lock it within myself, bearing the weight of its words and the emotions they invoke. I sometimes think that I should probably have died long ago, but some incomprehensible force is keeping me alive and granting me the ability to continue my quest to gather great stories. Be it divine power or fell curse, I am grateful either way.
How could you tell it was me? The old man smiles slightly.
It is not so hard to recognize a ruler by the way she walks. No one here steps as confidently as you, my grace.
Thanks, I guess. Yeah, that's what I was thinking, Nihilus. It just stresses me out every time because the option to get rid of them is right there. Like, I imagine there's probably an "Are you sure?" dialogue. That would make me bad seeing that as well. Alright, would you care to trade stories with me? The man's voice rustles like autumn leaves.
I am a collector, not a trader. If I share a story with you, you receive the power to pass it further, changing or embellishing it, whether willing or not. Can I be certain you will keep my stories intact in their absolute purity?
The storyteller ponders for several moments.
No, I don't think so. At least not yet. These legends are the most precious valuables of this world, the last remnants of ancient tribes. They are beacons illuminating the way to the past, allowing us to meet generations long gone. I cannot let their light fade. The path to the past must not be lost.
The old man thinks for a moment, then continues.
But I can offer you a deal, your grace. If on your journey to discover items that come from eras past, bring them to me. And if my eyes can see the stories these relics hold, I'll be glad to share them with you. And if you find all the pieces of any ancient artifacts, I can even record my smithing skills to unite them and restore their power.
Okay, that's neat. Exactly, Nurse. Well, you can tell by the way I walk, I'm a baroness. Okay, now I'm trying to think. Did I already pick these up? Storyteller's eyebrows raise.
How interesting. May I, your grace?
He gently touches the items from your pack.
A coin from an non-existent country. When Corral the Conqueror mastered Rossland, having claimed it for Brevoy, he provided the issuance of such coins. Both ordinary folk and the unlauded sword lords were required to use new coins, decorated with Corral's profile. No one was quick to be rid of these prohibited coins. Oh no. In many houses they still store boxes and whole chests of such coins, waiting for the day when Rossland declares its independence.
Pay 200 gold for the ancient Rosslandic coin. I need a wise advisor in my court. Would you like to serve me in matters of state? The storyteller's voice grows soft.
Thank you for your words, but I'm unlikely to be able to interpret the intricacies of the political world or the affairs of the treasury, but my advice regarding the magic of arts would be useful to any ruler.
Yep, I'll leave you to your legends. The storyteller doesn't answer. His unseeing eyes stare ahead blankly. I like that guy. Okay, so that leads outside, that leads to the world map. Well, to be fair, Nolus, he said he's kind of reluctant
Hello,
to...
my savior.
Oh, hey there.
You asked if we'd meet again, and here I am.
A savoury aroma of herbs and flowers is the first thing that lets you know your long-time acquaintance is here. The nymph looks at you in a strange way, like she's never looked at you before.
I see your fate has changed since last we met. Now you are the ruler who will determine the destiny of these lands. I am their living heart, the whisper of the wind, the strength of rivers, the luxuriant growth of the meadows. Do you wish to touch this power? I will show you a place where we can finally meet in flesh, you and I. Deep in the woods, there is an old mossy ruins, long abandoned, nearly swallowed by the thicket. There is an old tree growing among the stones in the yard, which I remember as a seed. A shadow under its green crown I call my verdant chambers. Visit me there, my lady. And come alone. A nymph's reward awaits you. Forgive
Wait.
me, nymphs are not made for cities. The noise and vanity of human settlements vex me. I will answer all your questions, but there, in the silence of my asylum.
Okay. I was happy to help. I'll see you soon in the verdant chambers.
So long. I will await you there, as the ground waits for spring under the heavy winter's snow.
Nolus, dang Brioche, every girl on the land just wants you. I think the nymph just wants to be friends. She's voiced, so I'm guessing she's going to be an important character from now on. Right. Verdale. A young dwarf, red-haired and neat, surprisingly clean-shaven. Clean-shaven dwarf. Stands leaning against a sledgehammer. He's very busy reading some book, but as you approach he looks up and bows slightly.
Greetings, your Grace. I'm Verdal, a blacksmith. What can I do to help you?
I'd like to see your stuff. Ooh, cold iron. So I think Cold Iron's one of the first tier of improved metal you can get. So yeah, adamantine in D&D is super hard. I think our adamantine armor has the effect that it always protects you from critical hits. Can't remember what adamantine ammo does though. Yep, very suspicious, Willow. Never trust a clean-shaven dwarf. Nihilus, you're quite sure the nymph was going beyond flirting? I think there is just sort of meant to be genetically sexy-sounding dialogue. Okay. Cold Iron Longsword might be useful. Okay, I can't use it. Okay, can anyone use this gear? Oh, hey, she can use her Cold Iron Earthbreaker. Let's see. Slightly better. Plus DD6 is better than 1d10 in general anyway, because it's got a much higher minimum. And again, that's offset by the fact that Great Club's got a +2. And it costs a cool 6,000. Oh wow, I need to switch back to the ginormous sword again because yeah, can she use anything here? Okay, so it looks like the companion weapons actually level up with them. Because Yafal's Masterwork Scythe actually has a better critical hit threat bonus now. Oh yeah. Aram actually needed a better weapon. Can he use any of these? No, he can't. Well. I'll say the scythe though. Tell me about yourself.
What is there to tell you, Grace? I'm a blacksmith, my father was a blacksmith, my grandfather was a blacksmith, and his grandfather too.
Okay, yeah, he's a normal dwarf. Nihilus, adamantine armor does that in 5th edition at least. You think adamantine weapons used to get past a certain damage resistance or something? Yeah, actually I'm not sure. I think adamantine armor in 3.5 edition at least might just give you damage resistance. I'm not sure. I should really just track down a print copy of the Pathfinder, or like the 1st edition Pathfinder rulebook, just so I have a reference.
Besides, every one of them is remarkably fertile, so I have plenty of cousins, second cousins, third cousins, and all of them are blacksmiths too. Pretty much all the weapons in my mill in Mivon were forged by someone from our family. That's why I moved away from the old home grounds. My skills are far more useful here, that's for sure.
You look a little unusual for a dwarf. Bird Elf sighs and runs his fingers through his hair.
You expect to see a beard, eh? No offence, but what's the point of a beard? Especially when you're a blacksmith and working with fire. You burn it once, dip it into lightning oil, and catch a spark from the forge, and your beard is history. You're better off without one.
Okay, that sounds like a story. What are you reading? Berta looks a little confused.
Well, different things. It's nice to take a rest with a good book. Just now, it's Valor and Honor. 10 adventures with the splendid Will Gunderson and Absalom.
Oh, catch you later.
All the best, Your Grace.
Citizen... Asif. You see a dark-skinned, wiry man with a weather-beaten face and a happy smile on his face. He is dressed luxuriously, and his dark hair and neat moustache are exquisitely coiffured. Alright, yeah, this is the first merchant stall. The man bows to you, spreading his arms a little.
Asif from Absalom is happy to welcome you, Your Grace. Come take a look at the best wares that we travelling merchants have to offer. Please, come take a look.
Okay. Oh, now we're talking. Hey. Magic weapon. Hey, got anything for my dwarf? Oh, yes. Here they've got like 1,000 quarterstaffs. Okay, what kind of money do we have? Much. Leather armor +2. Ring of Plentiful Hunt. +1 bonus on damage rolls with bows and +2 on law and nature check. Okay. Corrosive Flail. But that's 8,300 and I think we've got like 4,000. Now we need to do some more adventuring here. Yes. Sell that. Okay, still not quite enough. Oh well. Well, let's see what his deal is. Tell me about yourself.
My pleasure, Your Grace.
The merchant smooths his moustache and commences his story, with an air of importance, speaking in a sonorous voice, gesturing wildly.
Asuf's family was not rich, and he, as many in Absalom, had to start from the very bottom. As a child, while his peers chased pigeons and stole apples at the market, he worked at a tannery. Oh, I can still smell this disgusting stench.
The man pulls out a heavily perfumed handkerchief and waves it in the air.
Well, the young apprentice worked hard, saved every coin, and soon managed to purchase that tannery from his former master. Then, as soon as he has enough money, he opened his own trading agency. After 10 years, countless deals and many tours in his caravan, Asuf was one of the most successful merchants in Absalom, thus writing his name indelibly in the history of the great city.
The merchant looks at you with pleasure. No less, a magically corrosive weapon sounds like a double-edged sword, unless you're wearing leather armor. I mean, I imagine it's only magically corrosive when you hit someone with it. It's not like corrosive when you're touching it. You know, sort of like how my magical fire crossbow probably isn't on fire when I'm shooting it.
Well, how's that? I'm looking for a writer so I can dictate my memoirs. I think many would find it interesting and useful to learn more about me.
What is the secret of your success, Asif?
There is no secret. Perseverance, strength of character, attention to detail, the gift of persuasion, charm. All this, among many other things, are key to success in my profession. If I did have a secret, who would I be to share it with anyone?
The merchant laughs merrily, his hands rubbing his side. Why did you leave Absalom, centre of global trade for some young barony in the Stolen Lands?
Aha, this is a long story. I don't think your grace would be interested.
Come, tell me why you left Absalom. I insist. Merchant groaned theatrically.
Very well, as you wish, Your Grace. It was about a woman. When I was still young, I fell in love with the daughter of a judge, an important person in Absalom. For many years, I tried to win her heart, but she was as cold as stone. I should have given up, but this is not in my character. In the end, I did manage to win her love, but I was unready for it.
No, this guy's about to go very straight on us, isn't he? Asap swallows and rubs the back of his head.
As Abador is my witness, the flames of hell burn inside this woman. I could not live with her for even 6 months. Tenderness and passion one day, screaming and scandal the next. Sometimes we would break into my office during business meetings to make a jealous scene, and sometimes pull me by my collar from my finest tavern, the finest taverns in town. I couldn't sleep, I was nervous all the time, and it started to affect my business. I realized there was nothing else to do but run. Leaving her and remaining in the city would be impossible, even in such a city as Absalom. I decided never to return. I still fear that the wildcat of a woman will follow my trail.
Asap stops talking and stares into space without blinking.
Although sometimes, after a couple of jars of wine, I still remember her. Perhaps it was I who unleashed this tornado in her, if somehow I behaved differently.
Okay, cool story. No less. This man has literally a Reddit story come to life, but you're thinking that when he was saying all that bootstrap stuff. Yeah, that's fair. Okay, what's in here? Hey, citizen. I'm gonna take your stuff. I mean, I hope it doesn't actually let you, it doesn't actually subvert that whole, RPG thing where I actually get in trouble for this. Okay, I'm kind of enjoying this whole state building thing, but hopefully there's an adventure as well.
We're still sober here. Let's fix that.
And then I told him. So he told me. Hey, I think there's a severe problem with alcoholism around this city. Horse. Horse. So many horses. Yeah, that reminds me. If this is by the Stag Lord's place, I kind of hope that they got rid of the whole zombie thing. Oh yeah, I need to find the tiefling lady. Dog. Arsino, a woman in rich gold embroidered clothes, greets you with a polite bow. Her eyes, the colour of molten gold, shine brightly in her dusky face. Greetings, noble ruler of these lands. My name is Arsino. I'm a messenger from the Temple of Abadar in Absalom. I came here assuming that citizens of your young barony could use the services of a priest. Use the help of a cleric? That's precisely why I'm here. Oh sweet, cleric stuff. Okay, so you can do restoration in this. It's a shame they built the new barony, so I kind of wanted to see if I could resurrect the guy who died fighting the Stag Lord. Services. I can sell you various divine spell scrolls. They're quite useful, even if you don't have anyone within your party who can read them. While you're in this settlement, or indeed any place with a cleric willing to help, you open your bag and choose the scroll that you wish to cast. I'll be happy to read it for you. However, take care out there in the wilderness. The scroll is useless without someone who can read it. If you use the scroll on your journeys, you'll need a spellcaster whose magical training covers such spells, someone skilled in magical devices. Tell me about Abadar. With pleasure. Abadar is the god of cities, law, and merchants and wealth. The core of his teaching is as simple. Have a good night, Yan. Thanks for dropping by. The core of his teachings is simple. Law and order allows civilization to develop, which allows people to live in peace and prosperity. If area still favours old customs, small settlements, simple trades like hunting, then Abadar patronises development, complex trades, and order, entrepreneurship. Each priest of Abadar... Wait, don't know why I'm adding an extra symbol there. Where am I? Abadar, yeah. Find something personal in serving him. Some believe that law is the main aspect of their faith and they guard it zealously. Others put the well-being of their society above all. I personally follow Abadar's teachings that say civilization must penetrate the wildest, selfish lands and help people live in comfort and safety. You're an Azimar, if I'm not mistaken. I suppose it's easy to tell, isn't it? Yes, I'm an Azimar, though I'm not sure how or when the blood of Celestials appeared in my family. Among my relatives and known ancestors, I'm the only one who inherited it. I must admit, I'm glad this lot fell to me. It draws more attention to me, a useful trait for a priest who wishes to gather a congregation. How'd you come to be in my barony? That's a long story and not a terribly exciting one. I was born and raised in Absalom, but I saw a little point staying there. What's the purpose of promoting faith of Abadar in a city already so large and well developed? No, I was drawn to backwater places, where civilization was just beginning to emerge. It gives me such joy to see the first stones of this new settlement being laid, or to see a wilderness that once harboured monsters and criminals become a safe, cosy home for people. You're so eager to help the citizens, why do you charge for your services? No, she's not like a religious capitalist, is she? It's part of Abadar's philosophy. Rules of trade and exchange developed for a reason. Oh god, she's an anarcho-capitalist, isn't she? They help bring order to our world, and they mustn't be broken without need. The opportunity to get what one desires for no effort has a corrupting effect on souls. Okay, bye. Okay, into the pub we go. Isai. A tense silence hangs over the house. Isai, your tiefling friend, emerges from the shadows. But her eyes are staring into the distance. She seems to look right past you. No, not now. The turmoil is suddenly over, but you see fear in Kisai's eyes. Her blue eyes. It's you. I want to say Yeah, I'll take the chaotic good option. Please don't be afraid, you can tell me the truth. What's going on? Kisai. The girl closes her eyes and clenches her fists, obviously in the grip of a strong emotion, but one you cannot read. I knew it. It couldn't last forever. Why did he even make this rule if he knew it would be impossible to keep? He performed a chaotic good action. Hello, Glimflass. How's it going? Nolus. The priest is literally a Reddit post come to life. Exactly. He's even worse than the merchants. She takes a deep breath, opens her eyes, and speaks with firm resolve. Come what may, you should know, Brioche, that the person you know by the name of Kisai does not exist. My real name is Kaliki. And it's a long story. Such stories are best told by sides of welcoming fire. Will you hear me out? Okay. The girl rests her head on her arm and stares off into the distance, lost in memory. Stories by the fire, in the desert where I was born, my fondest memory. You don't like to play games with a party. If you play one solo character, will it work? I wouldn't really say so. This game basically assumes you have a full party for most of the encounters, so you'll probably need to take all of them with you. Are there any advantages like the Lone Wolf perk on Divinity? No, I don't think there are. It's basically replicating Pathfinder's rules, so it assumes a party, even if it's a single player game where just one person's in control of the party. Plus it plays like a classic CRPG, so there's a lot of emphasis on learning about the characters in your party and all that. When the day is done, hosts and guests, parents and children, friends and rivals all gather by the fire under the stars to tell their tales. And they did. All they witnessed, all they heard from other travellers, and the whispers carried by the desert wind. My sister and I often snuck in to hear those stories, hiding in the shadows just beyond the circle of light and warmth. We are hellspawn, you see. Tieflings are unwelcome guests in Madeira, unblessed by the light of merciful serene ray. We grew up sleeping in a common tent, scrounging food here and there like orphans, all but outcast and disowned. We were 13 when we left and set off to find happiness in the cities, and everyone we left behind sighed with relief. Yeah, I'll be honest, I'm not particularly a fan of when the whole D&D tiefling racism thing tend to be a bit clumsy and cross a lot of tables. My sister and I, we're twins, but different as the sun and moon. Her name is Panera, which means silent flame. She is fire, a cold fire, but one that turns everything to ash. I am a river. It brings me joy to give water to tired travellers and nurture green shoots. When I flood, I'm bound to bring death. The girl's eyes are full of sorrow. Despite our differences, we are one. Our lives belong to divine Nephis, and by his mercy we now live in turns. While one of us is here, the other sleeps in another plane, and when she wakes up, we switch places, just like you witnessed. So this is why you didn't remember me. when we were talking Jumandi Aldori. How could I remember you? I'd never met you at the time. That was Canera. She was the one who talked to you at the reception and helped you to fight off the assassins. We usually write each other notes, recounting in detail all that happened and describing any friends that Yasai had made. At that time, we'd switch right in the middle of a mansion engulfed in fire, filled with assassins. Canera didn't have the time to write any notes. How is it you began to live life in turns? Kaliki lures ahead. This story is one I've never told to anyone before. Known in the whole world, and it's not easy to confide in a stranger. There's too much grief and guilt in it. If you don't mind, you'd rather not go into all the detail. Nolus, she's plural. I guess. Well, she's not really plural because she is literally two people who are in the same place. Something. It's actually kind of a trope I like with tabletop RPG characters. The idea that you're actually playing a bunch of people who have a shared identity. If you don't mind, I'd rather not go into all the details. You see, my sister died and I couldn't get over it. Panara was killed by a soul eater, a monster summoned by secret followers of Abaddon's archdemons. Abaddon is basically the main Satan figure in D&D lore. I think Pathfinder's the same. Oh wait, I might be wrong, but he's one of the higher level demons, definitely. Those who summoned him died in the fight, but the beast was too strong for my sister, and I wasn't even there to protect her. Kalike catches her breath. I wish we'd just had a fight. We just had a fight, and we both did some stupid things just before. But I don't want to talk about that now. When I found out what happened to my sister, I was ready to make a deal with my power, any power, if only I could just get her back. And I found such a power. I was contacted by the Arcaniophene. The herald of the god Nephis himself. He promised she would return Canera to life, but on two conditions. First, we must both keep the arrangement a secret. Second, we would never be able to meet again, and so our new life began. We now flee through the world guarding our secret, always introducing ourselves as Kasai. Hard that there are two of us, and we switch places with each other at random. While one lives, the other sleeps in a demiplane, one created specially for us. And you can't control these switches. No, we can't. They happen at random, most often while we're sleeping, but sometimes in broad daylight. That's why we can never stay in one place for long. When someone witnesses a switch, we usually tell them tales of a special magical way of travelling. People will start noticing strange things and begin to figure things out. Truth be told, I'm so tired of having to pretend. We know this couldn't last forever, and now the truth is finally out. Oh, what's the point in all this? You revealed your secret to me. You broke one of the rules set by the deity's herald. Yes. Will you make me regret this, Brioche? I just thought. I felt you might be someone who could help my sister and I change our fates. What can I do to help? That's actually what I wanted to talk to you about. Nero was supposed to tell you of an ancient treasury that we've been looking for. Gold isn't the only thing of value in this place. It may contain an ancient relic, taken by Taldan raiders from a respected Qualdiran temple of Nephthys. It's an unusual relic called the Disc of the Eclipse. I once heard a beautiful story that it was created from the shadows that hide the sun and moon. I don't think that could be the truth. Nephis is the god of magic who was once a mortal wizard, and relics from his temples are usually very powerful. There are many among his followers who think that solving the mysteries of magic, even rivaling their deity, is the best way to serve him. One such follower created the disc, long ago in the distant past. Okay, I'm just going to take a quick bathroom break, so I'll be right back. Everyone in chat, behave yourselves. And don't do anything I wouldn't do. And I'm back. Okay, where were we? According to legend, it gave its owners control over plane of travel, but only pairs of wizards bound by unbreakable ties could use it. While one of them travelled the planes, the other was his anchor in our world, and they could switch between. Do you see now why we were so desperately wished to find the disc? It might help us understand how the switch between me and Kanara works, and it should make our divine patron happy. Nethys and his assistants value the desire to understand the mysteries of magic above all else. How did this disc come to be in the Stolen Lands? It was brought here by Taldans from the 5th Army of Exploration. Toldor and Credera were enemies for ages. Thousands of years ago, a soldier broke into the Temple of Nethys and stole the relic, to sell it or secretly hoard it as an heirloom. Hundreds of years later, his own kin, or the kin of its 100th buyer, brought the disc to these strange lands, where the Taldans had come uninvited as usual, and which they finally vanished from with little trace. Sometimes history is an intricate lace. You'd never guess where it begins and where it ends. Tell me about the location of the treasury. It was called Sorrowflame in the chronicle we read. It was once a Toldan town founded by the veterans of the 5th Army of Exploration. It stood on the shores of a turbulent river, and that was what destroyed it. One night, a terrible flood devastated the settlement, killing many and driving the rest to flee. Only the tower on the cliff remained. which was too high for the flood to reach. Water covered the ruins for a long time. The last year it receded. My friends found a chronicle which recounted the destruction of the city and spoke of the disk of the eclipse, which was kept there. They managed to track down the ruins, but were frightened away by the monsters and beasts that roamed the area. If this can help, then I agree. Leaky's sad eyes get a little warmer. Thank you. I'll wait for you there at Sorrowflame, and please, let's explore the ruins together. Just the two of us. I don't want to give myself away again in front of your companions. Breaking the Arcanophane's conditions once was enough. I have no wish to anger our god. So long. Okay.
This is my time to shine.
Well, let's just rob the place. Old diary. I tried to write down everything quickly everything that's happened. I awoke in the middle of a burning building. There was no time to look for the diary, let alone read it. I ran towards the voices I heard and got into a big battle. I figured out what was going on when a very strange group appeared. They helped me fight off the assassins and then got into a quarrel with each other. Right in front of Lady Jamandi. I still hadn't had time to read the diary, so I couldn't understand everything that was happening. I somehow made up an excuse so they'd leave me alone. Strange groups split into two parties and set off for the stolen lands. I'm staying in Restov for now. I haven't made any new contacts, and I still haven't figured out your old ones. A hand-drawn cloud, weeping drops of rain stands in place of a signature. You silly goat, you've ruined everything. I ran off my feet trying to find a way to the stolen lands and get my hands on the disk of the eclipse. The expeditions organised by Jamandi would have been perfect. I'd hoped to use them to find reliable companions who could be talked into accompanying Quayside to Sorrowflame. Blow. Now here we are stuck in Restov because of you. Couldn't you have simply asked to go with Brioche's group? Could have even gone with Tokushio. I'm sure that smug gnome could have been gently steered in the right direction. But you refused. Now I don't know what we'll do. The Sword Lords are running wild looking for spies. I'm just sitting tight hoping not to arouse suspicion. But all this inconvenience hasn't been a complete loss. Interrogations. Oh, and it was Captain Castine who personally came to interrogate me. How could someone punish me so, seeing that delicious man to set precious questions? I bet myself that I could make him blush in under 3 minutes. And I won, of course, haha. Ah yes, I need contacts. You're unlikely to need them considering your fecklessness, but still. Cassila Dori, half-orc sword lord. He accompanied Kasai when she came to introduce herself to Mondi. A boring idealist of little interest, but he was friendly enough. He obviously has nothing against tieflings, presumably because he's a half-breed himself. Keston Garrus, captain of the guard, a tall human male with dark curly hair. He's looking for spies, and doesn't seem to suspect Kasai. Lindsay, a halfling bard. Round face, chestnut hair, kept getting in my way. Unreliable and irritating. You gets along marvellously, I'm sure. Thankfully, she left with the expedition. Tokushio, a gnome wizard, overly fond of the colour purple. Nolus, suddenly reminding you of Agnes and Perdita, even though it's a completely different situation. I think those are characters from Discworld, but I can't quite remember. Funny, I liked something about him, probably his business sense. He's in charge of one of the expeditions. Yafal, a pale dark head elf, a spook with a scythe, always turning her nose up as if she's a queen, but elf queens don't go on expeditions in backwaters like this. Harim, a dwarf, shaved head, black beard. Don't come any closer to him than a narrow shot, you'll die from the gloom. Valerie, a human. A fighter with a horrible blonde haircut. I mean, I wasn't going to say anything, but those are borderline turf bangs. Valerie. I'd gladly play some dragon or evil wizard to catch her, pluck her out of her armour, and keep her in a cage for 6 months, taking care that she doesn't abuse her hair. I might just play the dragon or wizard myself. Amiri, a barbarian with a sword the size of a kitchen table. Funny sword, left for the expedition along with everyone else. Brioche, a female tiefling. Forget what I said about Keston and Valerie. That's the one to catch and make blush. I'm being objectified here. Additions. Silly goat. We finally get another chance to get to the Stolen Lands and seek the help from my contacts from the above list. If we switch in the meantime, don't ruin anything again, please. A hand-drawn flame stands in place of a signature. Yeah, I'll take that just in case. Oh yeah, from the Witches books. I didn't read those as much as the, I think my favourite were the City Watch novels. Because at the time I was knee-deep in Law and Order and similar. Which is kind of embarrassing, so I don't like to talk about it. Anywho. Ooh, statues. Wonder how long it took them to record all the incidental dialogue from the town. Okay, is this the tavern? Oh no, this is my kingdom, my thingamajig. Kristen, anything you say? Start the rank up project. The advisor and the Baroness will spend 14 days on a special project to increase the rank of her respective stats. You can find one project under the Projects tab. Assign an advisor and start the project to increase the rank of a stat. Harem seems to be worried and wants to discuss something. Okay. I think I need to do something about that hill first. Okay. No less did I give my character high charisma, or is everyone just this horny for the player character regardless? Yeah, I think it's just that. Okay, I've been cursed. Yep, I've actually got a negative charisma modifier. Okay, I'm getting a bit too chaotic good for my liking. How do I get rid of the curse of the feeble body? Pretty sure I have something for getting rid of curses. Yeah, I think it's just a case that quite a lot of characters are just player sexual. Ah, here we are. Potion of Remove Curse. Fixed it.
How may I serve you, Your Grace?
Okay, so we're gonna head to the world map. And we're going to do some adventuring. Hey, I can level up Paladin Lady. Well, not Paladin, she's a fighter, but... Okay, she has to be lawful good. Athletics. Improved initiative's always nice. My character's level 4, so... Nonetheless, at least they have character, you guess. At least they have more than a universal placeholder dialogue to say about it. Yeah. Considering it's an indie title, it does a pretty good job. Well, not quite indie, but... yeah, fighters, basically, their whole thing is, I'd assume Pathfinder carries on from, 3.5 edition sort of system, and a fighter basically just gets, combat related feats. And let's go with Bastard Sword. Okay, and 4th level. Extra constitution. Weapon specialization. Gonna make sure she has a bastard sword, otherwise I'm gonna feel very silly. Yep, bastard. Oh, off we go. Okay, guess I was wrong. You can actually go on your own. Oh, we'll look at the hill first. Okay, so we're going to investigate that hill, then I'm going to do the loyalty mission. Okay, let's investigate the Bold Hilltop. Get my crossbow out. Beloved child.
Shadows engulf me.
Fragment of an ancient pillar, covered with eroded letters of an unknown language. Guess it must be a very evil pillar. Hey, Lindsay. Okay, is there nothing here until the month ends then? Kind of annoying. Exactly, Nellis. Take feet for the job you want.
The dangers don't frighten me.
Oh yeah, now I remember. Valerie specifically decided not to be a paladin. Right. Gonna visit Nestle's Crossing and talk to the revenant who lives there. Then I'm going to go recruit Bokken.
I'm not afraid.
That thing. Earth method.
Stand down.
Okay, reduce damage. So yeah, mephits are basically just like little elemental creatures. Okay, charge. I keep forgetting every character has the charge action.
Tear them apart!
No less mephits are cool. You wonder if they explode in Pathfinder. Well, let's find out together.
Consider me provoked.
What are mephits vulnerable to again? It's got 2 fast healing.
This is for you!
Damage reduction, exception, magic. Okay, so I need some magic here. Lindsay. That's more like it. Shake, shake. Shake your bones.
I'll fight if I have to.
Hey, can I loose it? Guess not.
Uh-huh.
And I guess they don't explode. Learning is fun. Achievement progress, survivor, 6 out of 100.
I need to catch my breath.
Okay, we'll just go to Nest Crossing.
More strength fades.
Davik Nestle.
Dark Lord is dead. Erasmus awaits. Farewell, Brioche.
New event. Research into the nature of curses. Davik Nestle. corpse crumples to the ground. See he carrying anything interesting? Oh yeah, he's got his short spear. Well. Lilith, you're kind of sad it didn't blow up. Oh, you know what they say? If it doesn't explode, it can't blow you up.
Resting would be nice, don't you think?
Probably. Okay, just gonna get the location for Sorrowfall, so I can travel to it later.
You cannot stand against me.
You offend me.
Serves you right.
Makes you have a crossbow. Oh no. I've made a mistake.
You can't stop me.
Okay, this guy has a bit of
Unworthy.
there we go. Now let's take their stuff. All junk. Achievement progress, Survivor, 7 out of 100. So, how do I get sorry flow? Okay, do I have to follow Nestle's Crossing? Sources of resources for the barony. You may stumble upon a resource area in your travels. To reap its benefits, you need to claim the corresponding region, return to the resource location, and claim it 15 BP. Curses. Research into the nature of curses. Now that the undead engineer's curse has been lifted, it might be prudent to study it to be prepared for next time. Okay, he's involved in rebuild the temple. Project. 3 days. now for the treasury. I still don't know what to do about the journal. Okay, so the ancient curse just doesn't do anything until the timer elapses. Fair enough.
I need to catch my breath.
Claim that. And take a rest.
Jathal, you're not just cold, you're icy. A winter's night without the moon and stars.
Is that an attempted compliment? Girl, I am what I am. The opinions of the short-lived interest me even less than the howling of the wind in the tree branches.
Get that blackberry patch. Let's see what's on here then. A lot of dead things. Grease. Schemata. +1. Okay, I have a bad feeling about this.
Shadows engulf me.
Fried egg. Okay, is this a boss fight? Okay. That looks like a boss fight. Lawful evil. Level 6 magical beast. You know what? I think we can take it.
A simple smile goes a long way.
What you want?
I won't let you down. Consider me provoked.
Well... I'm not doing it wrong. The spell is flawed.
I don't tolerate threats.
Hey, critical hit on a sneak attack.
This is for you. I'll fight if I have to.
Wretched things. Go down!
Oh, hey, Muffin. Yep, it's Wednesday. How's your Wednesday going? Thanks for giving them the shout out, Nerlis. How's things Wednesdaying?
This spell's purpose is different.
Oh, Nerlis is redeemed. Random trivia. Random trivia. So in traditional mythology, well, classical mythology, Manticore is the a monster with the face of a human, the tail of a scorpion, the body of a lion, and wings. It was said to have been slain by a hero riding a Pegasus, riding Pegasus, a winged horse.
You can't stop me.
Oh yeah, I didn't get to act because I've got a surprise round. That makes sense.
Your time is over.
Damn. My alpha strikes it. Oh, Doom Muffin is also redeemed trivia. Trivia. Can I skin it? No. Well, ooh, belt of incredible dexterity. Falling sword. Probably worth something. Oh, the monster's staying, I guess.
Repent! Your life ebbs low.
Anything else around here? Guess not. Random trivia. Brewers yeast and baker's yeast are... Muffin, do I know why seagulls are called seagulls? Is it because they live at sea? Or is it something, more interesting.
I need to catch my breath.
If they flew over the bay, they'd be bagels. Okay, this isn't the home area anymore, so it's the whole party's out. Oh, let's go recruit Bokken. Bokken, how'd you like to become my court alchemist? The old man peers at you with an inquisitory squint.
A court alchemist? Me? That'd be a first.
Bokken finally sighs and waves his hand.
Yeah, fine. Come on, me. You've been kind to me. Killed those damn spiders, bought an old man some berries. I'll work for you. Just one thing, though. I need a new laboratory. Some place to keep all my bottles and ingredients. A workshop, yes? And as for me, don't you worry, I'll do my part.
Hey, let's see if I can buy some of the stuff I sold to him. Oh yeah, I can sell off some of this junk. It was weird to see this place without my party members hanging around it anymore.
I'll share my path.
Muffin, you've got a new joke to make to people freeze up. You tell them you have a good knock-knock joke, but you have to start it. And when they go knock-knock, you reply he's there, and watch the confusion go over their face. Nolis, sounds like something from XKCD. Muffin, what's XKCD? It's a webcomic. Usually makes a lot of science jokes. Still use this bed? Yes. Like camping for free. Lindsay is lightly encumbered. Alright, she took con damage from something. Curse of the feeble body. What's going on here? Artisan. So you've met an artisan, a special character can craft. Okay. Bill. What do I need to build then? A herbalist house? I'm guessing it's a herbalist house he needs. So, I need to find out how to get to Sorrowfall. Yeah, I'm gonna travel back to Tuskdale. I think you just looked at some XKCD comics. Fair enough.
My strength fades.
Why is Ragonga so Ragonga? I love him terribly, but can he be just a tiny bit less Ragongarian?
I think when I get the tiefling lady, I might. Let's look in the tavern. Even the drunkest bullies respect our Alina. None dares brawl in her presence. Oh hey, it's Amari. Behind the inn's bar stands a young woman with curly red hair and a round face and rosy cheeks. She gives you a friendly smile, fixing her cap. So nice of you to drop by, Your Grace. I'm Alina, the innkeeper. What's she sell? Camping supplies and rations, that makes sense. Okay, so when did I pick up this curse? Why's everyone got it? Tell me about yourself. I'd be happy to hear you, Grace. I love to talk, especially about myself. Where are you from? What land, which family? I hail from the River Kingdoms, or Tombs to be precise. I'm from a farming family. Like just about every from around there. There's more fertile land and pasture there than anywhere in the River Kingdoms. Except maybe for Seven Arches. Folks who grew crops and tend cattle are well respected there. But at the same time, they live in constant danger. There's too many bad people. Too lazy to work all day, but don't mind taking other people's things. Why did you decide to become an innkeeper? I was bored. Don't get me wrong. I was fine at Father's farm, but I got nothing but respect for farmers' work. Back in our country, you could go half a year without seeing one new face. No news, nothing happening. I dreamed of working at an inn since I was a child. That's the kind of place where there's always lots of guests and stories. Where does the inn's name come from? Oh, don't ask, it's too funny. I keep thinking about what name to pick, choosing the right one. But not want to waste time. I drew a beer mug on the door. Figured folks would just see it and come on in. But the locals got used to calling the place the Beer Mug Inn. So the name stuck. Tell me about the River Kingdoms. A month wouldn't be long enough to tell it all. For Grace, each kingdom's a special place with all on its own. Elves live in one of them, and the one half the country belongs to the Murderers Guild, and the other half gives them no orders. They say they even get local discounts. There's just one thing that unites us all, like a strong thread that keeps the quilt together. It's the River Freedoms. The 6 River Freedoms? Yep, the first freedom. Say what you will, I live free. It doesn't mean you won't get beaten up for what you say, though. The second freedom, well, if you can call it a freedom, oath breakers die. Those who break oaths get killed just like that. Some people prefer not making any oaths at all. Third freedom, walk any road, float any river. Once the ruler of Highbar decides to build a gate across the river and collect a fee from each passing boat, well, there's no more Highbar. The fourth freedom's even worse than the second. Ports are for kings. Whatever the king says goes. Well, as long as he doesn't say to build a gate across a river. Now for the fifth, slavery is an abomination. Nothing to explain there. Runaway slaves from all over come to us for a reason. And the sixth, you have what you hold. It means theft is a much worse crime than robbery, if you catch my drift. You can honestly beat a robber but keep what's yours, but a thief acts on the quiet. Shame on him, that's just disrespectful. Some dancing. I don't usually drink, but today's an exception. Sure. Yeah, that's gonna rob that. Your Grace, why are you taking everything that's not nailed down?
This is my time to shine.
The Murderers Guild, no less. I guess it's an Assassin's Guild. The Beer Mug Inn. Buffo, a disgusting concoction with toad poison added in. Fun fact, Buffo is the Latin word for toad. The scientific name for the common toad is just Buffo, meaning toad. And there's your random bit of trivia, Muffin. Cider, mead, and ale. Yoink. The Darkstalker fled across the Syrian desert, and the Gunslinger followed. I think that's a Dark Tower reference. What's she selling again? Oh, just camping supplies. Okay, throne room. Notice the ad found you, but then disappeared.
How may I serve you, Your Grace?
What does a scroll of remove curse cost these days? $375? What a rip. Okay.
The belongings of brave heroes who perform their feats here before you. I essentially would be interested to hear their story, but there are too few of them here for me to recount it yet. Please find all 5 of them. I'm sure you won't regret the time you spend in the search.
Okay. Guess I need to find all the rest of items then. Kind of a shame I sold them all. Barony McBaron face. New merchants have arrived in the capital. How do I take advantage of that then? Can't get any of these done. A troubled land. Ends in 9 days. Guess I'm just waiting 9 days then.
The dangers don't frighten me. Share my path.
Huh? Seem to have lost my connection to chat here. stream's still up. I'll have a good nap then, Nolis. It's nearly 3 hours, so I guess I'll call it now. Well, I'll just look around town. Merchant. Darcy. The tiefling girl looks as though she's made of springs. Cannot stand still for a moment. Nods her head, snaps her fingers, and taps her feet to an inner whirling song. Seeing you, she quickly waves her hand and breaks into a wide smile and immediately starts jabbering. Your Grace, welcome. What do you want? Scrolls? I have them. You won't regret. I suppose I'll bring more scrolls of sale if you manage to attract more mages to your lands. More mages, more demand, more goods for you. So go build them libraries, and we'll both profit from it. Show me your wares. Ooh, that's a lot of scrolls. You perhaps speak a bit more slowly? Sure, as you wish. For you, Darcy the Lesser Gobbler at your service. Girl bows with a wide smile. Best charms, jinxes, and hexes for the best baroness across the river kingdoms. Buy it all, and don't be stingy. Won't regret it. Where'd your goods come from? It's a family business. I've got siblings all along Mendev. They pinch it. I mean, they're very creative suppliers. I sell it all. Get it now? Don't hesitate. Our goodies are great. I like this merchant. He's a tiefling rogue. Then, hey citizen, just gonna steal your stuff.
No challenge at all. How cute!
Guess where? What happened to the owlbear?
I'll share my path.
Well, anyways, I'm gonna call it here, so Thanks everyone for dropping by. We'll just find someone to raid. So yep, tomorrow, assuming no one calls in sick, it's going to be more Ace Attorney on Goggles' channel. Just give him a quick shout out. You're welcome, Willow. Thanks for dropping by. So yep, give Goggles a follow if you want to catch that stream tomorrow. It'll be from 7:30, I think. So that's, for reference, it's 9:30 at the moment. So subtract 2 hours from whatever time it is in your local time zone, and you'll have the time. We got I was playing Sakura Wars. I rated them over last times. Iki is playing Besiege. And the Bunyip Man is playing Project Zomboid. I think then I'll raid either Icky or the Bunyip Man then. To decide which. So if it's if I roll an odd number, Icky. If it's an even number, Bunyip Man. That's a 4, so we're raiding the Bunyip Man. RIP my RIP me trying to spell Bunyip. There we go. So yep, hopefully I'll see you all tomorrow on Goggles' channel. If not, I'll be back on Friday, possibly with some Earthbound. I've got some relatives coming over, so timing might be a bit complicated. But there will be a D&D session on Nick's channel, first of the new year. And that's going to be at 7:30 as well. So, yeah, thank you for dropping in on me living my best tiefling life here. And we're going to raid in 3, 2, 1, and let's go. And if you're watching on YouTube, like, comment, and subscribe.